So let's make 3D drums, shall we? Sound spreads through the medium of air and starts reflecting from right and left. The high frequency waves loses energy in the air faster than low frequency range. Hence it's harder for them to travel long distances. However, this is not really true for the low frequencies. Hence, when something happens really far away, we hear a lot of reflection and we hear a lot of low end. When a sound comes from underground, let's say earthly sounds, because earth is often solid material, high frequencies have much harder time to penetrate the solid material. And you can actually trick the ear by low passing the sound and making it feel like it's coming from underground. When we are outside, we don't have anything above our heads. When we hear something rich on the high end, we believe that the sound comes from high above. So during the tutorial, I will use a rack that I built for moving the sound around. So we have basically 4 buttons, so you can actually move the sound around the way you want it. Now this sound is like in the room, like it covers everywhere. Let's push it back. Now it's here. Basically use a low pass filter, dark room reverb, and on top of that increases the width, so it is more like reflected around, so giving this illusion of the sounds coming from the background. And then we have the push front, does exactly the opposite. Now the sound is right on our face. Let's push this sound up now. It's still kind of in the front, but it's upper. And then we can push it down as well, like underground. So let's switch to the drum loop. So it's quite a flat mix, but for this track, it will definitely benefit from 3-dimensional mixing. So the first thing that I'm gonna do here, start with the claps, because they are one of the more dominant elements in this track. This clap, the bright one, is a bit on the background. I'm going to push it to the front and slightly up. It's more in my face, but the other one, the back clap, I'm going to push a bit background because it's a bit too in the front. Let's take a look. And together now. It's like Cool, right? From there, we're going to build up the other elements. The first one is the open hi-hat. Sounds like this. Now, the open hats tends to reflect quite a bit in the real world because they are more splashy. This one is like really focused on the middle, coming from the mono source probably. So we're gonna push it around, give us a bit more spacey feeling. We feel a bit room feel and it sounds slightly darker together. Now we have the closed hat sounding like this. These short closed hi-hats tends to be very transient, very snappy, very to the face. In this case, we have more stereo sound. Okay, without. With. Do you see how this pushed right in the middle and it will complement the other open hat? It's like right? Together with the snap claps. Very cool. And then we have the shakers. Now, if you remember from our chart, we wanted to have the shakers to do slashing right and left, right? And this one is already like this. It's already like splashing right and left. I think this is perfect. I'm not gonna touch it. I'm gonna check the other shaker now. If you have both one really super pan, it can get really mushy. What I'm gonna do, let's bring this in the middle, a little bit in the front, and complement the other guy. So together again. Beautiful, isn't it? We have this stereo and mono sound living together in a coherence. Then we have this organic sound. I'm gonna actually play 2 of them because they are very similar sounds. Now we have the possibility to let them talk to each other. So one left, one right, one left, one right, right? Right, a bit, and a bit left. Right, left, right, left. And then we have the Congo sound. The Congo sounds tends to come from the lower, like on the bottom, and they tend to come a bit natural reverb in them. I'm gonna push down a bit and push back a little bit. Yes, together. I have this additional sense here: the dark room, a room, a slap delay, echo, a big room, drum bass. Here, I think this sound needs a bit dark room additional reverb to give this more room ambience. I'm gonna send a little bit there. And then we have this snare roll here. Think about the real world. What the drummers do, like they increase the velocity while going up, meaning that the sound comes a bit on the background in the beginning and then goes up a bit brighter. Here comes our locator, and this time we're going to automate it. What I'm going to do, push back in the beginning like this, and then we're going to push front very fast. I want last hit already in my face kind of. Last one, go up a little bit like this. We can even push up a little bit, I feel. Together. And then we have some ambient hit here. I think this is good enough. We can take a look one more time together with everything. The one thing that we could have done with the congos, the same automation here, but this time we could do it right and left, because we're hitting right, left. There's this inherited stereo sound there. Cool, isn't it? Final part, the SYNTHS. We can do exactly the same thing that we did with the snare here. So let's bring it from behind to the front like we did before. Isn't this really cool effect? Like whoop, whoop. And then I'm gonna do this crash cymbal. I want it more focused in the middle and a little bit up maybe. And together with the effects. Do you see how beautiful it comes together? Like it comes to the middle and the crash splash in the middle, bam, and then goes back again. And if you play all together, now sounds like this. The sound is already much more interesting in the 3D space, but there is still some things that we need to do. First, we need to glue everything together so that the drum sounds like a one single orchestra rather than everybody playing randomly. I would often have a drum bass depending on how I feel. This time we are going for this very crushed sound. So here we have the compressor, EQ, and overdrive, another compressor, a reverb, and then cutting off the lows and sidechaining to the kick. Sound a little bit and solo this so that you can hear a little bit. With the reverb, I'm just want to splash a little bit. So if I play drums, do you feel how the tails come together a little bit more and glues a bit more? Without? Now we're gonna need to sand everything a bit together. So I have it with the reverb as a group to again put them into the same room. This one is more like a darker wet sound compared to drum crash. And there are certain elements in this drum that I can use, like I can send some to echo or some to delay. The first one that comes into my mind is exhale clap. Getting a slight slap delay on the clap can give a bit more enhanced room feeling. It's like somebody is sitting, we are hearing the echo, right? It's super typical. We can send this to the longer delay, the echo here. Together with the other guy. And the other guy, I'm thinking like a slap reverb so that combining a bit confusing the listeners here. Dun, 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 dun. Beautiful, beautiful. You cannot just have the drum sitting in the room and everything else sitting outside the room. So we need to send some synths to the room and send some other elements to the room so that we have more coherent altogether sound. I put the flat mixed original version here and the 3D version or the mixed version, 3D mixed version here so that we can do an A/B comparison now.